live. I thought.
Nah,
Oh, now I see.
where what's good, YouTube? Kenny motivates.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy BJ, aka JL. I'm here with my boy Kenny.
Yeah, nigga, we got that collab going and shit. You know, we had to do something for the people and shit. You feel me?
Sure.
But this video, we want to talk about what was
Hold
it?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Right,
hold
right,
on.
right, right. It was like,
Let's give a let's get a rundown. How's your day, boy? What you did today?
what I did today.
What did you do today to make yourself a better person than what you was yesterday?
Hmm, what did I do today? My memory not that good. So I woke up. I had to, for me, brush my teeth, wash my face, meditate. For me, I meditate every morning, 10 minutes. Go to class. I actually skipped one class, so I mean I don't give a fuck though. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Um, then I went to my other class. After that, um, went to work, made some money and shit. Um, I didn't go to the gym yet. Today was just a chill, calm day. Like I didn't really do much shit.
You gonna go to the gym later on, like after this live?
Most likely, we'll see.
All right,
We'll see.
calm day,
We're
calm,
calm, super calm.
calm day.
How about you though, bro?
I woke up, did my 50 push-ups right away as soon as I woke up.
Mm. You
Um,
do that every night and morning?
yeah,
I need to start getting back on that. I've been doing that like not long ago, but I stopped.
50 push-ups. Then I went to go brush my teeth. I said my affirmations for about 5 minutes. I did my gratitude prayer. It's just like 3 minutes straight of me just giving thanks to the universe. You feel me? For everything, like waking up, type shit, everything. After that, I got changed. I went to work. I worked 9 to 4:30, 9 to 4:30 shifts. Then after that, I chilled with my boy. We was playing too. I had to chop it up. You feel me? I had to whip his ass because he beat me. Because he beat me, and he's the reason why I cut my hair because I lost to him. But
All right, yeah.
I whooped his ass in 2K. Uh, Now I'm here outside my house joining this live, and then after the live, probably I'm gonna do my test for sure. I need to do my test, and then probably work out and then meditate and then go to sleep.
Word,
Calm
word,
day, really, really calm day. But like, not productive though. For me,
word. Type shit, word. I mean, oh, I forgot. I forgot. So after this, actually, I need to meditate again because for the book I'm doing, like, I need to meditate 2 times a day, and I didn't do the first one yet. The first of the one I did this morning was something else, so I need to do that meditation. Then I go to the gym, get a salad. You feel me? And then I eat like I eat like 2 salads a day. Like I be living on salads, bro. Like for real.
what you be
Um,
putting in your salads?
I should be tough, bro. I be having cranberries, raisins, tangerines. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes mushrooms. Um, olive oil for me, like some balsamic vinegar.
You know what's crazy, bro? You know what's crazy? I don't really like. You know how? So the salad that you're describing is like is like a combination of like sweet and salty. I don't
Yeah,
really like.
exactly.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
Nah,
I love.
like I need my salads to be salty and crunchy.
Mm, word. I feel you. I
On
feel
it
you.
like croutons, nuts. I want it with like a thick dressing. You feel me? Like
Right.
add
Yeah.
a lot.
If they had some nuts, like some pecans or some shit. Oh my god. I
I
got.
actually put like cashews in my salads.
I don't really like cashews. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
Nah.
Nah, bro, you crazy. Either cashews or like Brazilian nuts.
I never had them shits.
Yeah, just like some fat
Yeah.
ass. Some
I
big
know
ass
they. Uh,
as hell. Like, big as fuck.
but then after that salad, come back to the room, meditate again, and then later tonight, you feel me? A girl about to come over probably.
Oh, you gonna say that shit on the live?
They're not good. They don't know what they are.
Oh. Chill.
And, but
We should speak about that one day. About
you're,
how female nature works.
yeah.
You
Masculine,
got
female. Right.
Me and you, we definitely got a lot of experience on that.
Type shit.
Yeah. Let's keep it at that.
Right. But um, yeah, that's it. Where?
So what we gonna talk about today? What we
All right,
going? What?
so let me see. Let me see what I texted you. Like, um, all right. So we can either talk about how childhood affects us now, like how our childhood has affected us to this day, or how to channel your energy and emotion, like how to channel your emotions and shit. So which
So
one? It's up to you. Which one you want to do first? We can do another one like the next live or some shit on Instagram or something.
mm, let's do the childhood one.
All right, bet. All right, bet. I got some shit for that.
Oh, hey, he getting ready.
Or you started off. You started off.
Me? All right. So we're gonna talk about how your childhood affects you to this day. Like when we speak about the childhood, we're gonna talk about the past experiences you've had as a child, the programming, the conditioning that you've been having since a child, and all of that. So first, let's take it. I'm gonna take it and like I'm gonna give like a broad explanation. Every child in society, well, in America, is conditioned from a young age to, you know, go to school. You feel me? Go to school, get a job, pay off the debt, save your money, and all of that.
And social conditions too.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah. That's true. Because everything that you experience as a child is gonna be, gonna be experiences from social conditions, family, school, friends, whatever you watch, whatever you give your attention to. But I'm gonna just give a broad explanation. Every kid in America has been conditioned to believe that going to school, paying college to get a degree, getting a job, paying off debt, and
Nine to,
saving. What happened?
9 to 5.
Working a 9 to 5 job, uh, get a job, save money, and paying off debt is the American dream.
Right.
Basically, that's the way everyone must live, and this conditioning is controlled by the system. If we know anything about the system now in 2022, the system is not out here to have the best interest in you.
Right.
Feel me? The system is a manipulative, controlling group of selected people
Mm-hmm.
that run the world in every industry, whether it's the media, jobs, money, medical, and we've been conditioned to think that this is the way that we should live our life. And me personally, I found out at a young age that I don't want to follow what the system has conditioned me to follow. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not my way. It doesn't fulfill my soul. It doesn't fulfill my purpose. My purpose is to talk and preach about becoming your best selves. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what I care about. And that's just a broad explanation. Now, when you're a child too, everyone goes through their own traumatic experiences, but we're gonna get into that. That's what we're gonna get into.
Right. I'm ready for that shit. On God, I am.
Yeah, yeah. But I just wanted to give you an example of like how it's so easily to be programmed and conditioned to think a certain way from such a young age. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Right. So what he's talking about is kind of like more of like you're talking more about like conditions, like social conditions and shit. Not shit, but like what like it's just different. What I was gonna talk about was the trauma you just brought up.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to understand that as a child, every single person has trauma in the world. Even if, like as adults, your teacher, that police officer, your parents, your grandfather, your grandmother, your friends next to this person sitting next to you in class, the person serving your food at a restaurant. Every single person has trauma since childhood, right? All the every traumatic experience is different. It just depends on what happened to you and what circumstances brought up to that point. However, everyone has trauma, even if you're not aware of it, right? So when you're a child, you experience this trauma. It can be anything that makes you feel very uncomfortable, guilty, shameful. There's something that doesn't sit right in you. When you grow up, when you start growing up, you start to suppress that feeling because it doesn't feel good. You start to suppress it with playing video games, watching corn,
Smoking,
shopping, where
smoking.
smoking, drinking, clubbing, partying. There's a whole bunch of things you can do to distract yourselves, right? And then as you do those things, you start to become less and less. Um, what's the word? You start to become less and less
When you
aware.
start,
You start
okay.
to become less and less aware of your emotions because you're suppressing it, right?
Mm.
And the problem I have with that is when you start to suppress emotions, you start to put labels on emotions, right? Good or bad. But in my opinion,
Mhm.
this thing as good or bad emotions because emotions are emotions. They're there for a reason. We feel them for a reason. We're born with them. But the moment you start to push them away, you're becoming less of yourself because you were born with the full capacity of all emotions, right? Now going back to the trauma, um, what was I gonna say? Um, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna just read something real quick, like a little bit.
Before you do, bro,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted
go.
to I wanted to say something. So basically, what Kenny's trying to say is any traumatic experience that you haven't faced from a younger age will soon will sooner or later develop as trauma in the body. And you will feel that in your sensors and your muscles. Whenever you stretch, you're releasing trauma. You know what I'm trying to say? And most of the times, traumatic experiences that has never been dealt with will be faced when you're by yourself or in relationships. That's what I truly
Alright.
believe.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Let me
yeah.
just give an example. I want to give an example. When I was little, I was really, really, really overprotective over my own mom.
Territorial.
Yeah, very territorial, very territorial. Like to the point where I didn't even want my own cousins even doing
Hug.
anything. Mom,
Yeah.
literally. And I was so jealous, and I was this that. Like I was just very, very jealous, very protective, very, very territorial over my own mom. And I never dealt with it, and I've never learned how to be comfortable without having my mom around until I got into a relationship a few years ago. When I was in a relationship a few years ago, I've noticed that I was the same way with my girlfriend at the time.
Hmm.
I was the same way. And if you know, and this is a little tip for you girls, if you want to know how your partner is gonna treat you, look at the way he treats his mother. That
Hmm.
is a real the way a man, the way he's gonna treat you in a relationship or anything, marriage. So this is why I say it's very important for us as young men and young females to help face your traumatic experiences, especially because a lot of the trauma that a lot of childs face comes from home, comes directly from their parents.
Hmm.
So
Word.
this is why it is really important to face your parents, talk to them about how a certain situation has made you felt, talk to them about how you want to compromise with them about a certain situation. Because if I didn't notice that it wasn't because of my territorial behavior that I had with my mom a few years ago, then I would have still been in a toxic relationship with a partner that didn't even deserve my own insecurity and traumatic experience. and it's really, really important. That's just one example, but I have many other examples. But that's just one example.
What you just said about your parents is so true. Like your parents. Literally what I was about to read says that shit. So it says to identify our unconscious definition of love is challenging because it's been with us since the beginning of this life experience. It is imprinted energetically in our emotional body through our relationship with our parents, through observing their relationship with each other, and through observing how they behave toward toward the life experiences. I mean circumstances. So literally, you get like the experiences you have with your parents are the like the most traumatic experience you probably have in your life. Because as children, we need love, right? And when we don't feel loved, we feel lost, we feel rejected, we feel lonely, we feel alone. Then we consider those things traumatic experiences because we're not being loved in that period of time. For so for example, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Let's say um let's say this. A boy is born, right? And the second he's born, the mother's nipple is put into his mouth. And then after a period of time passes, the nipple he has in his mouth gets taken away and gets hidden away. And then as years go on, in his adult life, he starts to look for other females to to quench his hunger or his thirst for that nipple. He starts to look for other females to give him that same feeling of
Mm-hmm.
what he experienced when he was a child, and it's unconscious. Like you're not aware of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another example: if if your parents weren't there when you're a child, you become very needy, right? Your parents aren't there to give you attention, love, like attention and love. You become very needy. You start to look for other people to give you that attention, and you start to reflect. You start to project your mother and father. If it's a guy, if you're a girl, and you start to project, doesn't matter. If you start to project your mother and father on that person, if it's a guy or girl, to experience the same thing, even if it's hurting you, even if it hurts you, you're still gonna try to make that same experience happen unconsciously though, because that's what you're used to since you were a child.
Yeah, to touch on that, I know being a child who I know I know kids that don't have parents, and when they grow up, they're in a very dangerous state of being.
Hmm.
It is because they never actually accepted and dealt with the traumatic experience of not having parents. So when they find people, they're in this state of always wanting validation from other people and external forces, but then also projecting their own trust issues onto that. So
Hmm.
that's a very dangerous way to live, because not only are people going to genuinely, you know, like to be around you and your aura and your vibe, but you're just gonna be wanting validation from everything external, from people, from your coworkers, from your manager. You're always gonna want to to always be congratulated or validated from something else that isn't you. When in reality, everything that you want is already inside of you.
Word.
Yeah, I know it's tough. Yeah, I know it was tough as a kid, not growing up and not having your parents there. But I feel like as an adult, if you're still holding on to that traumatic experience, then there is no room for you to grow. There is no room for you to grow, because you may never know what person you will meet in the future that is willing to give you what you've never gotten
Word.
before. And just by you subconsciously pro- projecting your parents' actions onto someone else's when you don't even know that person is dangerous enough, because now you're not giving them a chance. That is really dangerous. That's why it's very, very, very important to heal and accept all bad experiences that you've had in life. It is a blessing. It's a blessing. It's not a curse. I feel like everybody has their own journey, and every challenge that they face is tolerable. You know, you know what I'm trying to say. I
Word,
feel like challenge that everybody goes through is tolerable. Like you can overcome everything that you face.
word,
It's a matter of time. But I feel like God is just putting you in a situation to prove to yourself that you are capable of outgrowing anything that comes your way. That's the way I view it.
word. Because if you're alive, if it happened to you and you're still alive, that means you're still, you're fighting it pretty much.
If you're breathing, if you're breathing, you have if you're breathing, if you wake up, if you have water and you can walk and talk and listen and write, you have all the tools that you need right now in this very moment to change your life.
Word. Literally, bro.
Lit- Literally. You do not no notice how I didn't talk about having a counselor, having friends, having money, none of that. I didn't even mention food. If you're breathing, you have oxygen, you have water, and you can read and write and understand and use your five senses, you're fine. You have every tool you need in life to change your life right now, drastically, literally.
That's a fact, bro.
Crazy.
Fact. And I want to also talk about um how trauma gets passed down from generation to generation.
Mm.
Like the trauma we have as kids, as when we were kids, came from the same trauma as our parents when they were kids and they had trauma. And they had their trauma from their parents and their parents and their parents. So it's just it doesn't stop until, people like us realize this and we break the pattern, the curse, whatever you want to call it, of the bad things that always, like, you ever hear like when people like say like there's a curse in the family.
Hmm.
It's trauma, bro. Like no one, up until that point, no one has dealt with the trauma that's been being passed down.
That's trauma. That's repetitive conditioning passed on to towards people.
Yeah,
Like energy is contagious. You can't create or destroy. Energy can only transfer. If you're carrying around, if you're carrying around traumatic experiences, that's the energetic field that you're in. This like that's your state of being. That's your energy field. So if you're always constantly in that state of field, the people around you are going to be in that state of field. You know what I'm
bro.
trying to
I'm gonna say this real quick. It says, for a child, remember when we and our parents were children and their parents were children, there is no greater cause of grief than opening itself to the experience of unconditional love and instead receiving hurt, rejection, and even humiliation. The resonance we call grief is amplified when the child enters adulthood and consistently has this unpleasant experience repeat over and over again. That's pretty much what we're saying. It just keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating until someone be like, "All right, that's enough. That's not gonna happen no more." So it's just kind of crazy how this shit works. Like even though we might be conscious of what we're doing in our adult world,
Mhm.
only 5% of our mind is conscious and 95% is unconscious. So everything that's in the back of and literally behind us, right, we're literally run by our unconscious body and mind.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy, bro. Like we're not even aware of it either. Like all those bad memories that we've suppressed, all those bad emotions, all those bad experiences we had, they're running us right now. We're not even aware of it.
And for the viewers that really listen to what we're talking about, I wouldn't want my viewers to go on into their parents blame them for how they
Word,
were.
word.
Don't blame your
You
parents.
can't blame.
Parents,
Blame
you
is
can't.
the same thing. You're just repeating it.
Yeah, you can't blame your parents because at the end of the day, parents can raise their own child to the extent of how they were raised.
Literally, literally, bro.
Lit- Literally,
They
not every
tried the best they could.
yeah, not every man will express dominance, power, and respect the way you want them to, and not every female will present nurturing, loving, and caring the way you would want them. Some people are tougher, some people are weaker, some people just don't know how to take care and raise kids because they never been raised. Don't blame your parents. Understand what is happening through your generational curses, curses. understand what's happening, and have a talk to your parents. I'm not gonna lie, Kenny. This year, I've never been as close to my mom. This year, like
Me
the
too.
closest.
Me too.
This is the closest I've ever been to my mom, and you know what I noticed? I don't view my mom as my mother.
You as a person.
I view her as a person and more like a friend. Subconsciously, if you view somebody as your parent, teacher, principal, boss, whatever, you're consciously feel
Lower.
belittled. Yeah, yeah. I talk to my mom like if she's one of the homies. And we've had many talks about spirituality, improving religion, God, our family curses. We've had many conversations and it just comes naturally. When you look at somebody as not higher or lower, those conversations will naturally come up. So
That
don't blame your parents. Understand what's happening through the generational curses. Understand the traumatic experiences that they've went through because of their trauma. That's the reason why they raise you like that.
word, bro. Cause like once you start blaming them, you just go to the cycle. Like you have to accept. You have to thank them. You have to go up to them and like be like, thank you. Just be like in your head or whatever. Like just say thank you for like trying your best to raise me the best you could. Cause that's all. That's all they knew.
Mhm.
So, but that's all I have. I ain't gonna lie.
That's all you have.
But we can. You going to do the other one right here in the other same video.
Let's just end it. Let's just do this one for the first
All
episode or time we live.
right.
Uh, let's end it like here.
But
But
appreciate y'all for watching. This was a video on how our childhood, how my childhood, how your childhood affects your present moment and yeah, what it means.
how to overcome it.
Um, word.
So,
So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video with people who wanna, elevate. Um, subscribe to Swaby J and follow me on IG and shit. Follow me on IG as well.
Facts. We're gonna be uploading more content for sure. We gonna connect, and I'm gonna have to come down to the Florida. I'm gonna
Word.
have to come down to Florida. We're gonna have to vlog that shit, bro.
I got word. Go to parties and shit with girls and like nah,
Take care.
we said what?
Take care, yo.
Where you too, buddy.